In today's video, I'm going to be sharing what I went through eating plant-based 30 days. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and I've been eating a plant-based diet for 30 days. I'm going to talk about what I've gone through, will I continue the plant-based diet, and how much weight I've lost. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. And again, these are more of learning experiences that I went through the first 30 days. So I will talk about the tip that will help, and again, my downfall on that tip. So the first thing I want to talk about is number one, gradual transition. So eating this way, a lot of times people want to start 100% in, go cold turkey, and I get that. Sometimes that's easier for some, and for some people it is not. They have to slowly transition into things. And usually that's how I do things. I like to start off slow because I feel like, to me, that's more sustainable. But I did go in 100%. Whatever way of eating you're doing now, whether it's standard American diet, whether it's low carb, high fat, whatever the case may be, sometimes it's better to start slow so you can see how any new foods you do incorporate, such as more vegetables, more fiber, more water content, fruits, things like that, you can see how your body will adjust to it. The first week I had headaches. I want to say out of the 7 days, I had headaches probably 4 or 5 days that first week. It was brutal. I don't know if it was because I went from animal-based, high fat, all the way to the other end of the spectrum, high carb, low fat, or actually zero oil, zero fat. So my body was probably just trying to adjust, figure out what I was doing to it. Once again, I did have some stomach discomfort because, again, adding in more fiber, more water content, with the potatoes, with vegetables, fruits, all that obviously is high carb, which carries more water. So that I had, the stomach wasn't really any, stomach issues to where I had to be in the bathroom all day. There was nothing like that, thank goodness. It was more feeling a little bit more bloated, gassy, things like that, but that just leveled out pretty quickly. Number two is meal planning and prepping. So if you're eating a plant-based diet, there is going to be more food, more cooking, more prep, because it's not just eating, a piece of meat or chicken. It is more cooking, it's more cutting and chopping your vegetables. There's a lot more involved. And that's the only thing, is it takes a lot more time, in my opinion, eating this way. And that's okay. I feel in the long run, it is worth it because you can batch prep, you can meal prep, you can get everything ready the beginning of the week. So on Sundays, I cook all my oatmeal for the week. I cook rice for the week if that's what I'm planning for that week. I bake my sweet potatoes, my white potatoes. Whatever you need to do that takes longer, you want to do that at the beginning of the week. That'll cut so much time down because I still work, other than YouTube, I still work my full-time job. And luckily I do work from home. So I'm able to run in the kitchen real quick and get my snacks or get my lunch. But it helps to be prepared with my meals. I'm able to grab a scoop of rice or a scoop of beans or whatever I'm having, it helps. And another thing that helps me is planning out the week. I will plan out, whether it's on Sunday or Monday, I will plan out, okay, This is what I'm going to be having for my lunch, my breakfast, my lunch, whatever, however you want to label it. But this is what I'm having for my first meal. This is what I'm having for my second meal. That way you know, okay, today is Monday. I'm having oatmeal for breakfast. I'm having it with banana. All I have to do is go in the kitchen, warm up my oatmeal, add some, plant-based milk to it, add my cinnamon. There you go, done. Usually 50% of the time I do have veggies with my oatmeal, and I show that before because I do the starch solution 50-50 plan right now. And that's how I set up my plate. So I will come in the kitchen, I will use my microwave steamer, and I'll list everything down in the description. Takes a few minutes to do that, warm up my oatmeal, and it's done in less than 10 minutes. And to me, again, preparing and having everything ready to go is key. And at the beginning, when I wasn't, preparing, when I wasn't, batch prepping or anything like that, the downfall that I had was being in a rush, trying to get everything done, trying to get my dinner ready, trying to do this and that. And I found it more stressful. So I didn't want to stop eating this way because of me not being prepared. So I decided, okay, at the beginning of the week, this is what I'm going to be doing. Once I started the batch prepping, meal planning, writing down everything, by the second week, I had it down packed. It was very helpful, and I didn't have any issues in that area again. Now, tip number 3, this is something, again, that you want to, if you're not gradually changing up your diet, if you're just going in 100%, is you will probably have tons of gas, bloating, especially if you're eating a lot of greens, cruciferous vegetables. You're gonna go through something because, again, we're eliminating animal-based products and we're consuming more vegetables, fruits, potatoes that have a higher water content. So more than likely, you're gonna go through, digestive issues and things like that. So just be prepared for that. And if you need to, maybe instead of having a cup of Brussels sprouts or a cup of broccoli, maybe start out with a quarter cup or half, but eat more starch or eat more lentils. Probably have to tweak certain foods until your stomach gets used to the change. If you do have issues with cruciferous vegetables and you do get some bloating, let me know what vegetable you think causes that down in the comments. I know for me, Brussels sprouts, if I eat too many, it will give me a problem. And what I went through, because of the new way of eating, I did have lots of bloating, I did have gas. It was more uncomfortable, my stomach feeling more sensitive. But again, it was not enough for me to stop. All I did was cut down on the greens, for a few days. If it was Brussels sprouts, instead of eating a cup or 3/4 of a cup, I just really cut it down. And that really helped quite a bit. And tip number 4, social challenges. This can be a couple of things. It could be finding places to eat that are more plant-based friendly, that are oil-free. I'm on an oil-free, plant-based way of eating. So when I look at restaurants on the menu, I want to make sure that it states or eat something that has no oil in it. So those are some challenges that you may run into. And the best way to help that is to, again, make sure and look at the menu ahead of time, especially if you're going to be going out with family, with friends, or it's a celebration of some sort and you want to be prepared. You can call ahead, and if there's a dish on there that you want to make sure is plant-based friendly or oil-free, or you can ask them, can they make this dish oil-free? So that's something that you can face, or the social part of it. You know, you may have people questioning you, why aren't you eating meat? Or is that all you're eating? I haven't really encountered it too deep yet. I know on Easter coming up, yeah, I'm going to. I know it because my family notices everything. You can let them know, hey, I'm starting to eat a vegan or plant-based diet, and this is, you know, what I'm eating, or this is all I'm having, you know, however you want to handle that. Or you can just tell them, tonight's my healthy night and I'm not going to have any animal-based food, or, you know, whatever you want to come up with. But so far, the only individual I've had, it wasn't even a challenge. It's just, you know, my husband, are you sure that's all you're going to eat? Are you going to be okay with that? Is that going to be enough? Are you know, all these questions. So I just pretty much had to say, look, I just need your support in this. I know I was eating keto, I was eating carnivore. He has seen it all, but I just need your support in it. He knows that I've had health issues as far as chronic pain, things like that. So he knows that I have been on the hunt to find something that is sustainable and that works. So he doesn't really give me any pushback really at all. He just always wants to make sure that, you know, I'm going to be okay. You know, am I going to get a headache because I'm just eating, you know, fruits and vegetables or a potato? So his heart is in the right place. So luckily I haven't had, you know, too much grief with him, but I know I'm going to have it with my family next week. So, and when I do encounter that, I'm honestly just going to say, you know me, guys, you know how I like to change things up, and that's what I'm doing again. And after that, they'll just kind of, you know, ignore it. And, you know, during this time too of transitioning and getting into this way of eating, there were a couple of times where I did fall into a challenge of, you know, having chips and salsa, because the chips, more than likely, they have been cooked in oil. So I did have some chips, but again, that is something at the beginning that I gave into. And later I was able to say, nope, I'm not having the chips, because it's all a matter of just getting used to. You know, the first week, maybe the second, or even longer for some. I'm just doing this video because I want to share my 30-day challenge with this way of eating. So it may take some people a month or longer to get adjusted to this way of eating, and they're still having some downfalls. So again, everybody's different. I know there was, you know, the chips challenge that I faced, that I had, and now it's easier for me to say, nope, I'm not having that. And tip number 5 is listening to your body. The most important part, in my opinion, in this way of eating, actually in any way of eating, you only want to eat when your body is asking for it. Your hunger cues, you will feel your hunger kick in, whether it's growling, the stomach rumble, whatever. Your body is telling you, hey, I am hungry, I want food. Now, before you get to that rumbling, hangry type of situation, because you're going to start feeling, okay, I think I'm getting hungry. So what I do is, when I start thinking I'm hungry, I start paying attention. Okay, I'm starting to get hungry. Let me go start getting my food ready. Let me go start preparing, that type of thing. So that way you can start eating and you're not famished. You're not starving, because if you wait to that point, you will definitely overeat. I know I went through that challenge. When I was talking about food preparation, I went through it where I went too far with that hunger cue and thought, I'm going to put it off for just a moment. then became super hungry. And once I became that hungry, I had a couple of plates of food. And I'm not saying that you should be counting your calories or really watching what you eat. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is just listen to your body. Because even if you listen to your body and you eat your first plate of food of, say, vegetables and, baked potatoes, and then you're still hungry after that, then yes, you do want to feed your body, especially if it's asking for it. You don't want to ignore that. I'm talking if you wait until you're starving and you're really overeating, and then you overeat and then you feel it with your stomach, because you will know when you've had enough. Your stomach's going to let you know, I am stuffed. And when you're stuffed, that's when you don't feel good. And obviously you've overeaten. And that's usually what that means. So again, you feel that hunger cue, start getting prepared, because you want to eat as soon as you're hungry. And then stop when the food starts tasting different, or you're asking yourself, okay, am I already full? That's your cue to stop. So just pay attention to those cues. And if you're already eating intuitively or really listening to your hunger cues, let me know if you follow that method and if you think it helps. Another thing too, if you've eaten and say an hour and a half later you're hungry, you're gonna think, wait a minute, I just had a full plate of food an hour and a half ago. Why am I hungry? Again, that could be thirst. If you've looked back on the day and you haven't had enough water, that's probably what it is. In my experience, throughout any way of eating, if I haven't had enough water, my body's dehydrated, it's giving that, cue that it's hungry, but really you're thirsty. So again, it's just eating intuitively. I really follow that. I was following that even before eating plant-based, and it really makes a difference. And this leads into the next tip, is weight changes and weighing yourself. So because carbs hold a lot of water, you want to think about when and how often you want to weigh yourself. The best time to weigh yourself is as soon as you get up, you've gone to the bathroom, and you haven't had anything to drink or eat. That's the best time. And it's the best time to do it the same time every time you weigh. So there's nothing different from the last time. You want to weigh at the same time every time, after bathroom and before eating. You want to make sure that it's the same. You want to be consistent with that. And it's going to be different every time because, again, the types of foods that we're eating, more water content, fiber, whether you need to use the bathroom and you can't go at the moment, that plays a huge role. So just keep that in mind that, one day you could weigh 125, the next day 126, the day after that 124 and a half. It's going to vary. So just be careful and be mindful of that. Keep in mind, you cannot gain weight overnight. I mean, a pound has 3,500 calories in it. So unless you ate 3,500 plus calories, then maybe you've gained a pound. But I promise you that is not it. It's just the fluctuation of what you've eaten. And once your body gets used to this way of eating, it's going to hit its set point. It's going to hit the weight you should be at for your age, for your height, for it all. Once your body gets acclimated to this way of eating, your body will have it set. And then from there, you just eat to manage your weight. And now to the fun stuff and the good part that you've probably been waiting for. Did I lose weight in 30 days? And the happy news is I did. I lost 5 pounds. Now, to some of you, that may not be a lot, but to me, it is because, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I was eating a low carb, high fat diet. and I was starting to gain a lot of weight in my midsection, and I'm 50 years old. So that is extremely important to me. I do not want to gain unhealthy fat around my organs. That visceral fat is a no-no. And obviously something was amiss because I was starting to just gain it in my stomach. It was awful. And I put pictures here so you can see what I'm referring to. And I think my previous way of eating, it worked until it didn't. And I did keto and carnivore for approximately 4 years because I started at the end of 19, 21, 2, yeah. And it worked, probably along with intermittent fasting and calorie restriction, until it didn't no more. I think my body was starting to fight back and it did not like it anymore. It didn't like all the fat I was consuming, because that's when I just started blowing up. And the weird thing about it is, in my arms, in my legs, everywhere else, I felt like I was proportioned except my stomach. And my jeans, everything was just getting tight in that stomach area. So I knew, okay, something's not right. I didn't like it. And vanity wise, I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't like having fat when I didn't really have it before. When I was doing keto and I lost it all and my stomach was, flatter. And then now to all of a sudden start gaining it in the last 6 months, I didn't like that. And I had tried to tweak things here and there. It still wasn't working. So I thought, maybe this isn't good. Maybe my body, again, listening to my body, is telling me, Brenda, this is no longer working. You need to do something different. And I was already having some just moments of, maybe I shouldn't be eating this way. Maybe it isn't really good in the long run. Is it going to work for me? And my body was saying, no, ma'am, not working for you anymore. And I've talked about it before in my other videos, how it was really starting to weigh on me and worry me. So again, 5 pounds is 5 pounds. That is 17,000 something calories. So that is a lot of calories in 30 days to lose. So I'm proud of myself. I'm just happy to say I am glad that this is working to eliminate that, because I can definitely feel it in my jeans. It makes me happy. So will I continue eating this way? The answer is yes. And the reason is because obviously I'm losing that fat that I need to lose, that obviously shouldn't be there because I'm losing it. And 2, I love the energy that it gives me. I feel energized. I am sleeping just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So yes, I will continue. All right, so if you are still here with me, I want to thank you for watching, supporting my channel. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And right now, uploading videos on Thursdays seems to be working with my schedule, so that's more than likely when I will upload my videos. Don't forget to hit that like button and share my videos. All right, until next time, watch this video next, and I'll see you soon.